coming up. I mentioned Andrew Hastie would join us tonight. As many of you know, I have for a long time now called out the way our Prime Minister keeps standing in front of 3 different flags when holding events. Even today, in an announcement that will be shown right around the world, it not only sends, I don't think, an incredibly ambiguous message, but it continues to divide rather than unite us. What are people overseas thinking when they see that? They'll say, what are those other flags next to the Australian flag? Well, one MP is not afraid to unite us under one flag. Liberal MP Andrew Hastie, ahead of the National Flag Day, which is next month, is relaunching his Together Under One Flag campaign. Good on him. The member for Canning has got some bin stickers out. I need to get some for my rubbish bins. I'm pleased to say the Shadow Home Affairs Minister joins me now. Andrew, good to see you again. Thanks for your time. Where do I get my stickers from a bin?
Good evening, Steve. Well, it's great that you're asking. This is really important. Flags have a lot of meaning. They're important symbols, and a lot of us were disappointed to see some flags flown over the Harbour Bridge last weekend. We even saw the Australian national flag burned down in Melbourne. So this is an opportunity for Australians to affirm our flag and to show their gratitude for what it means. So the Union Jack symbolises our parliamentary democracy, our rule of law. The Federation Star reminds us that we are one people. We're not just 6 states, but we are one Commonwealth. And finally, the Southern Cross reminds us of how unique our geography is. We have an abundance of natural resources and wealth and prosperity, but also we're far from a lot of the strife around the world. And so if people want to support the flag, I can send them a BIM sticker. They can go online and order that flag.
Yes, please.
We've put out 7,500 so far since Australia Day. We've done about 30,000 of the same bumper stickers. Join the movement, get on board, put it on your bin and let people know that you are proud to be an Australian and you have gratitude for what our country is about.
When you were serving in the SAS for Australia, putting your life on the line on a daily basis, you would have had the flag on your shoulder, on your uniform. How important was that?
It's a reminder of who we are as a people and who you represent. When you're sent as a soldier, you're sent with a trust from the Australian people, and that flag that's on your shoulder reminds you of what you're fighting for and who you're fighting for. So it's really important, and more than 100,000 Australians in the last 100+ years have died under this flag. It's very, very important. It's the only flag that flies above the Commonwealth Parliament, and it's the only flag that is draped over the coffins of our fallen soldiers. So really important. And 3rd of September, next month, Australian National Flag Day. Please get on board, order some stickers from my office, and we'll get them out to you.
So watching the last week, I mean, the PM last week had a conference in the PM's courtyard at Canberra announcing the changes to social media policy where children under 16 are allowed to have accounts. Then today, he was there talking about how he's going to recognise Palestine. I raise those 2 things, Andrew, because they are national. They would be covered internationally. Those events would be beamed into places around the world, social media into the United States, and the Palestine decision today right around the world. People will be confused about why there's so many flags behind our own Prime Minister. You've got the Australian flag, you've got the Torres Strait Islander flag, and you've got the Indigenous flag.
Well, Stephen, flags mean a lot. They're packed full of meaning, and I don't want to diminish anyone's flag. I'm not a fan of ISIS flags, of course, or any of those other flags that we've seen flown on our streets over the last few years. But the Australian national flag is the only flag that speaks to all the aspirations of all Australians. It's our national flag. When we win a gold medal at the Olympics, guess what flag goes up the flagpole? The Australian flag. And I think it's really important internationally that we send the right signal. And look, it's been a very disappointing day for many reasons. I think it's a really historic day for the wrong reasons. The Albanese government has recognised and empowered and rewarded Hamas with their decision to acknowledge a Palestinian state and at the same time diminish an important democratic ally and friend in Israel.
I want to play you just a little bit of what he had to say today about, I mean, he somehow thinks, you know, mysteriously Hamas is going to disappear by us recognising Palestine. Have a look at the PM here today.
Our government has made it clear that there can be no role for the terrorists of Hamas in any future Palestinian state.
Well, Andrew, I mean, you've fought in Afghanistan against al-Qaeda when they were trying to dominate that country and take it over. What does Anthony Albanese think is going to happen here? That Hamas is suddenly going to disappear? Where are they going to go? I mean, they're not going to go anywhere.
I think he's completely naive. He doesn't realise that Hamas actually has widespread support in the West Bank and Gaza. In fact, it's the most popular political faction with the Palestinian people, and polling has shown that. Polling conducted by the Palestinian Authority themselves. And moreover, who's the alternative? It can't be Fatah, because they last year in Beijing entered into an agreement with Hamas to form a national unity government once the war in Gaza is resolved. So Hamas is very much part of the near future for the Palestinian people, and it's unacceptable that the government has in fact rewarded them, especially after the murderous acts of October 7th. So this is a dark day for our relationship with Israel, and I think it sends the wrong message to Hamas and other terrorist organisations around the world.
Absolutely spot on. Always good to see you, Andrew. Thanks for joining us tonight from the West. Andrew Hastie there.